The first lesson in dietary self-defense is good food is our essence. And just like we would do with any other aspect of our curriculum, we need to start at the beginning. We can't just jump into throwing things at our students that they're not ready for. And a lot of times what happens is we jump in and we start teaching, eat this food or eat that food, or stay away from this food, stay away from that food. And there's usually no connectedness in that sense. So it's just a bunch of random facts. So in other words, it's like teaching a bunch of techniques, but no combinations, no patterns, no strategy behind it. It's just here's a front kick, and here's a left hook, and here's an arm bar. There's no cohesiveness to it. So we need to teach a dietary self-defense curriculum in a cohesive manner. And so good food is our essence is the first lesson. And what we want to impart is that nothing in the world beats whole food and pure, plain water. If you want to be smarter, have better skin, be better looking, have more energy, have better sleep, everything is affected by the things we put in our body. Duh. So, it seems so obvious to say, but so often we seem to miss this point completely. What goes in is what comes out. We are what we eat. It's a timeless truth. We are what we eat. Most of us are corn. If you really want to think about it, one of the most abundant foods in our system is corn. It's in the ketchup, it's in the meat, it's in the bread, it's in the juice, it's in everything. So we want to have a whole food diet, and we want it to be a plant-based diet. Now that doesn't mean you have to completely forego every and all animal products, but you do want the majority, the large majority of your food to come from plant-based sources. Essence. It's not just a matter of getting up and saying, good food's really good for us, so you should eat really good food. Because there's no call there, there's no task there, it's not going to be retained. So the first step, and this is for instructors too, and you should do this first before you're challenging your students to do it. The first step is to keep a 7-day food journal. The reason for this is it's going to give us a chance to see everything that you're eating. And I also recommend people mark down symptoms and how they feel and their energy levels. Because you might come to realize that chronic headache or that chronic bloating or that chronic stomachache you have is most likely related to food. So you want to mark it down, keep track for 7 days. You're going to start to identify habits. You're going to start to see things that you probably didn't notice before. Not only that, it's going to give us a chance to see, are you eating enough? Are you eating not enough? This way we have a real snapshot. If you're going to invest your money, if you're trying to save money, you want to see where it's going. It's the same thing with food. It's the same thing with our bodies. Let's see what we're actually eating. We don't need to keep a long-term food journal. We don't need to keep track of what we eat every single day. But we do need to get an idea of what we're doing. And that's a great thing about the Diet Chronicles, is it makes us aware and mindful of what we're eating. And we need to do this on a semi-regular basis. The second part of the lesson is to do just that, to look at what we're eating. And then we can start to make corrections if necessary. And we don't need to make 100 corrections all at once, if that's the case. We can start with 1 or 2. We can start with changing breakfast. We can start with adding breakfast in some cases. We can start with changing lunch. It could be any number of things. Too often what people try and do is go, here's where I am, here's where I want to be, and, no, you can't just do that. We need to work our way over there with small steps. Take your time. We don't have students come in on day 1 and start teaching them, a 1, 2, 3 combination followed by a changing levels into a takedown, into side control, into a mount, into an armbar. We wouldn't do that in the first day, so we can't expect to do that with our lifestyle either. So to recap, good food, whole food, pure plain water. When we isolate plant sterols or omega-3s and we put them in margarine or cereal or yogurt or whatever it is, it does not have the same effect. This has been shown. The idea that we can isolate one nutrient and have it be effective as the whole food source of it does not work. Plant sterols in yogurt, plant sterols in margarine, plant sterols in whatever do not have the same effect as plant sterols in plants, in broccoli, in whatever source that you're getting them from that is the actual whole food. Same with omega-3s, same with antioxidants, same with vitamins and minerals. And it was only 100 years ago that we actually even discovered vitamins and minerals are in food. So it goes to say that it goes without saying that we do not know everything about food, period. There's hundreds of thousands of things going on in food that we are discovering all the time. And the reality is we don't know everything about it, but what we do know is that when we eat whole real food, it cuts our disease risk, it makes us feel better, our weight is regulated naturally, everything is in place. Whole food, good clean water, keep track, see where you're actually at, and then share that with your students. Have them keep track. Yes, you're not in a position to give necessary a prescription, but that's not necessary. It's a good chance to create dialogue and conversation about where are you at, what could you be doing. And the lessons that we go through, the next 9 lessons after this, we'll go through and figure those out and how we can craft that. So start there, create a food journal, examine it. If you have questions, of course, by all means, send me an email, give me a call, I'm on Skype, and we'll take it from there.